Welcome to the Your Business on Purpose podcast, the ultimate resource for women business owners looking to confidently navigate their entrepreneurial journey while upholding their principles. I'm Dawnette Palmore, your host and fellow entrepreneur. Join me as we immerse ourselves in illuminating conversations with accomplished experts spanning various fields across the business spectrum. Together, we'll unearth strategic insights into seizing opportunities and ensuring that your business is equipped with the essential elements aligned with your purpose and values. Welcome back to Your Business on Purpose podcast, the podcast where we bring clarity, confidence, and calm to the financial side of your business. And we do it without overwhelming ourselves. I am your host, Dawnette Palmore. I am a fractional CFO, money coach, and insurance strategist. And today we're kicking off a special year-end series that every business owner needs right now. Well, because I don't know about you, but a lot of Decembers, I'm like, I'm going to get this done. I'm not going to wait till the end of the year. And here's December, and you're like, whoops, it happened again. And life happens, things get in the way, we get busy, and we're like, we'll do this next month, we'll do this next week. And before we know it, our taxes are due next week, and we didn't get anything in order. I've been there so many times, and it's so stressful. And so I want to help you to really get rid of that stress. And this series is to help you to refocus. What needs to be done? How can I get this done? And how can I keep my stuff up to date so that this doesn't happen every year? So today I want to talk about why this happens, what it costs, and how you can stop treating your finances like a check engine light that you hope goes away, because it never does. In fact, other lights start coming on, right? So this is really going to be the foundation for tax strategy, for every money move, and every insurance protection or policy that you need to put in place in your business. So let's dive in. I want to say most business owners don't avoid their finances because they're irresponsible. It's not about that, right? It's about that we avoid them because we're overwhelmed, uncertain, or afraid of what we're going to find. And you guys have heard me talk before, awareness is power, but we avoid things we just really don't want to deal with, or we don't want to know what's really there because we're really afraid of it. But when we face our fears, the fear becomes so small. It empowers us. It gives us knowledge. It gives us data. It gives us facts that we can then turn to our advantage and turn everything around, right? I see things like, you can't, I would say, as a fractional CFO, I can say, you can't make smart decisions with incomplete numbers, right? How can we write a check? Or how can we make an investment or think about growth when we don't even know what our numbers are? We don't really know what the picture is. We can't plan for taxes with outdated books, right? And we can't protect our business when we don't know what we're protecting. So when your numbers aren't current, your financial strategy is really a guesswork. And honestly, guesswork really costs us more money every single time, right? When we just guess, it doesn't empower us. It doesn't give us a peace about the decision we make. So when our books are messy or we're behind, here's what happens. So we miss tax opportunities that only work before December 31st, right? We overpay the IRS because we didn't plan. And nobody wants to do that. We make decisions based on emotion and not data. And sometimes we end up making the not so good decision or the right decision, right? And we run our business like we're driving with half a map when we don't have our books in order, because we don't really see the full picture. I've watched and I've worked with brilliant entrepreneurs who just lose so much money because they're guessing, right? Instead of knowing. And that's what this is about. So the good news is that when our numbers are clean, something powerful happens. We see the truth. We spot patterns. We catch mistakes. We understand our cash flow, not the version that we think is happening, right? It's almost like when people look at their bank app and bank balance to make decisions. We can't really do that because we don't know what's outstanding. We don't have the whole picture. And this is probably another podcast, but this digital age is really disconnecting us from all the stuff that we need to know. So we have to be extra diligent to make sure that we don't lose that connection with our money and that we're in the spot where we're not really paying attention and we're looking at a bank balance and we're not aware of all the things that haven't cleared our account yet. So when we're able to do these things, it creates confidence, right? And confidence creates better decisions. And better decisions create cash flow, right? So now on the insurance side, if you're looking to insure things in your business, whether it's getting workers' comp, whether it's you need to insure equipment or people or buildings, if we don't know our real revenue, our payroll, our equipment costs, our liability exposure, what our subcontractor expenses are, how are we going to get a correct policy? How are we going to be able to protect our business properly? Because insurance companies look at data, our premiums are based on data, and the protection is based on data. So we have to have that data. So if our number is wrong, obviously we might either be overinsured or underinsured, and we never, ever, ever want to be underinsured because then it could end up costing us way more money than we anticipated. So we have to be very careful. So this is a great time to clean everything up and look at stuff. We really need to look at stuff and not just pass it off and think we'll get to it because we know that never comes. So before you prepay expenses, before you hire your kids, before you touch the QBI deduction, before you buy equipment, before you even think about tax strategy, any of that, you have to have clean numbers. And I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, that another thing for me to do. I don't want to do that. But there's ways you can do that, right? You can hire people to do that. You could do it yourself if it's not too bad. You could do it. And I would highly recommend that you do it so that you can kind of see what's going on in there. But we really can't guess at things, right? Because we can't be guessing with the IRS. I mean, this really comes down to making sure our numbers are right so that we're not overpaying taxes either. So we need to get our books up to date, reconciling bank accounts, categorizing expenses, making matching transfers, and updating our P&L. And there's so many programs that can help us do that, where we could just download our bank statement in there and kind of just match things up. And it's come to a place also where those things kind of get to know what category to put things in after we've done it a certain amount of times. It's like, oh, okay, that's the category. Okay. And then we just need to double check it. And again, we can always hire somebody to do this as well. So we also want to review our revenue sources, right? What performed well? What didn't? What's draining us? What needs to be cut? And what needs to be scaled? And when we're looking at these things, we're able to say, let's dive in here. Let's cut this out because it's actually costing us money. And the same thing with the penny, right? They just found out like the penny's costing so much money to print it that they just stopped printing it because we're losing money printing it. And I don't know what kind of effect that's going to have going forward, but these are things as a business owner we also need to look at. So we also need to audit our expenses, right? So looking at all the expenses we have, identifying waste, spot subscriptions you forgot, reduce what no longer aligns. There's so many times that we get a free subscription, or maybe that subscription served us in the past and now we need to kind of cut that off. We need to delete it. We need to get rid of it because we're not using it. Or we need to look at new things. I'm in the middle of, I should say, changing from one platform to another. It's going to save me $150 a month doing that. And this other platform does a lot more than the previous platform. And you say, oh, it's $150, but times 12, times how many years I've been using it, how many years I'm going to use it. So it adds up again and again, right? So you also want to pull financial reports. So once you put all those numbers in, you clean them up, you pull reports like our profit and loss, the balance sheet, the cash flow. These are going to be numbers that we're going to take to things like banks, to our tax people. They're going to want those things and they're going to want accurate things. But it gives us a 30,000 foot view of what our business is doing, right? And then we can make decisions from there and we can dive into that. So when what I say is we got to look at these types of patterns, right? Looking at the patterns of what our numbers reveal. What are our numbers telling us? And we may think, well, it's just the price. But what if we actually stopped and thought, are we priced correctly? Do we need to increase? Do we need to decrease? Is our cash flow seasonal or is it more predictable? Do we have too many fixed expenses? Does our payroll align with our revenue? Are the people that we have working for us making us money? Real questions. Is there money leaking and where is it at? And what opportunities might we be missing? Right? Numbers reveal behavior. Numbers reveal beliefs. Numbers reveal decisions you didn't even know you were making. So this is why we can't ignore that check engine light with our money. We have to dive in, we have to find what's going on, and we need to take that data so that we can make decisions and find out what's really going on. Where's my money really going? What's happening? Can I make more money? Can I cut? So many questions, right? There's so many things that we could just dive into about this. So also our numbers are going to reveal our risk, right? And risk is what insurance is designed to protect. We need to know what our numbers are. Again, we talked about this. You could be overpaying or underpaying insurance. We need to know, did our revenue grow? Maybe our liability is too much. Maybe we have too many liabilities and that's why our revenue didn't grow. Or our profits too small because we have too many liabilities. Did we hire contractors and employees? Do we need workers' comp? Do we need more liability? What type do we need? Do we have the right stuff? And if we don't, it could, again, cost us more money if we're not insured properly with what we need. Did we purchase equipment that needs to have insurance? Because if it breaks, it's going to cost us more if somebody, like there's so much to this, right? Do you travel for business? What kind of coverage do you need for that? And really looking at what kind of changes you made and what data you need to take to your insurance agent to make sure you're covered properly. So we want to make sure that our books are up to date, that we know what things are, so that our coverage isn't outdated, overpriced, or full of gaps, which all those things will end up costing us way more money in the end. And we just do not want that to happen, right? This is about how can we put more money in our pockets? How can we be more cash flow positive? How can we keep more of our money? And these are the things that we have to do. And I know it's like these things are just daunting, but one of my mentors says that we have to master the mundane. we need to get into the weeds of things so that we can understand. We can't always leave it up to everybody else. And even, I'm going to say, even if you're successful, you have a CPA, you have a book, you still need to be in your numbers. You still need to understand your numbers and where every dollar is going. You never want to be completely out of that because people do people things. You still want to understand all of that stuff, right? So I really want to leave you with this in this podcast, this episode. Avoidance is expensive. It's very expensive. And clarity is very profitable. And that's what we're all shooting for, more profit, right? And our books aren't just spreadsheets. I know sometimes we think, I don't really need another spreadsheet. I don't need this, but that's not what they are. It's our financial story. It's our protection blueprint. It's our opportunity map. It's everything that we need to make sure we're running a successful business and that we're growing a successful business. And you really deserve to make decisions with confidence, right? Not fear, not guessing, not last minute stress, but with confidence and with peace and without guilt. So I would say get your financials current, even though it is like not something you want to do. It's not something you want to look at. And I know it's a busy time of year, but if you're in a spot where your client, the business might be slowing down, maybe you're in your slow season, get in there, dive in, take a day out, take two, like carve it out and do it. Once it's done, then you have the picture and then you stay caught up or you hire out for somebody to do it. But we got to get those financials current. So I am so excited. I can't wait to have you in the next episode, episode 181. And we're going to be talking about specific year-end tax moves. I also want to say you can download my ebook. It's Finances for Business, and it's really an outline of what you need to do, how you can get started. You can download that for free. Just click the link in the show notes. Go grab that, go through it, read it. This will be your guide in getting your numbers together and getting your numbers in order. So I encourage you to go do that. And if you have found this episode helpful, please share this with a business friend who needs this clarity, who needs this help. We have so many wonderful experts that come on our show and bring us so much wisdom and so much of their genius, and really they're wanting to help our businesses grow. And so thank you so much for being here. And remember, from chaos to clarity, your journey starts here. This podcast is dedicated to you and all the incredible women out there breaking chains, pushing through, and striving to make it all work. Your support truly means the world to me. Could you do me a favor? Be a gem and leave a review. It will help us reach even more women, making a bigger impact. Your feedback is invaluable, and I would genuinely appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, ensuring you never miss an episode. Until next week, live a purposeful life in both your business and your finances.